My name is Bengisu Cagiltay, and I'm a third-year PhD student at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. On behalf of my co-authors Mutlu and Kerr, I'll be presenting my work for a theoretically motivated short note where I reflect on my prior work in child-robot interactions from a family studies lens, arguing a need to understand families as a whole for child-robot interaction design. My research focuses on designing interactions for social robots that can support social and intellectual development of children and their families in the home. And these robots may come in various shapes and forms. They can engage in interactions with people through verbal and nonverbal behaviors that are interpreted by humans to be social. And families, as we all know, come in various shapes and structures as well. And by all means, a family-centered approach is not a new concept to the interaction design and children world. But human-robot interaction field has a very limited focus on the broader family context and mainly focuses on individuals in isolation. So instead of focusing on the child-robot perspective, I focus on the family-robot interaction perspective that can include parents, grandparents, siblings, and other household members as active participants in activities with the robot. To better understand families as a whole in child-robot interaction research, I bring knowledge from two family theories. First, Bowen's family systems theory, which argues that families are more than the sum of their parts, and individuals cannot be understood in isolation from one another. With this perspective in mind, social robots within a family system could as well influence the dynamics of the family as a whole. Secondly, family ecological model is a modification of Bronfenbrenner's bioecological model, which argues that people are products of their environment and time, and the development of families are impacted by the characteristics of family members, their interactions with other people or objects, the surrounding local and global layers of context, and the changes that happen over time. Similarly, social robots may introduce new dynamics and interaction patterns within the family over time. So I ask, how can these family theories inform our understanding of integrating robots in domestic environments to support child-robot and family-robot interactions? I'll share an example from our prior work that inspired me to dive deeper into the family context. In the summer of 2021, we deployed a reading companion robot in children's homes for a month in an exploratory study to understand their long-term engagement. This robot was designed to have one-on-one interactions with the child, where the child reads out loud to the robot, and the robot listens to the child and expresses supportive comments about the book. Now pay attention to the video on the right that's taken from the robot's perspective. You can see how family members are coming in and out, they're engaging with the child, they're engaging with each other, and having a shared moment while the reading interaction between the child and the robot is ongoing. You can see that even though family members aren't active participants in the reading activity, they're a key part for the child's interactions with the robot in their home. But by designing only for the child, we have many missed opportunities to include and engage with other family members. So instead of looking at the child and robot in isolation, we have to look into the broader family context. And we're losing all of these nuances when we focus on the child in isolation. For example, one family had a co-parenting family structure, which meant that the child stayed between the two homes every week. But our only screening criteria was children aged 10 to 12, and we weren't aware of this family structure until the father brought it up on day one of the study. So we quickly accommodated our study protocol to support the transportation of the robot and resources between the two homes, but inevitably this factor impacted the frequency this child was able to interact with the robot, and at a midpoint, she stopped carrying the robot with her between her homes. We observed various levels of parental involvement in the study. Some parents were more involved. They took initiative in engaging in conversations with their child during the reading activity. And some even incorporated reading with the robot to their daily routine of family reading time, creating a robot family reading routine. This was a valuable observation for us because we know that family routines are important for family bonding and shared experiences, and it seemed like the robot's pure presence in the home was able to facilitate that. For a weekend vacation, one child left the robot itself at home, but still took the book with them on vacation and listened to an audiobook version of the book in their car together with their family. When they arrived back home, the child continued reading with the robot. And if we had only looked at the interaction logs, we would have associated this as disengagement. But there was a broader transfer of experiences that went beyond the robot and expanded within the family. These were just a couple examples from different families, all showing how ecological factors in family systems could impact the way that we make sense of the data in study design. So by looking at the broader family context, we can better understand reasons for technology adoption, use, and identify missed opportunities to engage family members in the interaction. So I propose 5 key takeaways for this family-centered design in child-robot interaction research. First of all, we should shift our focus from the child-robot dyad to the family as a whole, and we should look into various group interactions that happen within the family and how we design technology to balance family members' needs and preferences. Which means that we need to make significant effort in understanding families' expectations, concerns, and acceptance towards robots. We should employ the family ecological model as a framework for our study design and also for analysis. And while doing all of this, we should design for different and more diverse family structures as well. Not all families look alike. And we should also consider changes that happen over time, events, and transitions in the family's life. That wraps up my presentation. Thank you for listening, and please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions.